Now, does this sound a bit like you? From Monday to Thursday, you're pretty good at staying alcohol free. It doesn't always happen, and some weeks are harder than others, but generally, during the week, you can kind of force yourself to be good. But when the weekend rolls around, it just feels so hard not to drink. I can totally relate to this because for a long time I couldn't get my head around the idea of being sober on a Friday or a Saturday night. It felt like that was going to be a lot of effort and require a lot of energy to make that happen. And yet, every Monday started the exact same way, with me regretting how much time I'd wasted drinking and feeling really hungover. So I want to share something with you to help you view the weekends a little bit differently and to just break out of this pattern. And I want to focus on this thought that weekends are hard, because that's the thought you're having right now. And our thoughts influence how we feel, and then how we feel determines our actions. But it all starts with our thoughts. And the thing is, when you have this thought about the weekends being so hard, and you keep repeating that to yourself over and over as if it's a fact, then your brain will keep looking for evidence that backs up your thinking. So this is all thanks to a particular part of the brain called the reticular activating system. It's like a filter or a nightclub bouncer for your brain. It makes sure your conscious mind doesn't have to deal with more information than you can handle. And it does that by just filtering out a lot of stuff. So here's a random example for you. Have you ever had the experience of buying a new car? And then suddenly, after you bought the car, when you're out and about, driving around in it, you spot lots of other people driving the exact same make and model of car that you've just bought. Now, nothing's actually changed. There aren't more of these cars on the road. They haven't suddenly become more popular. It's just that that information wasn't important to you before, so your brain was filtering it out. Now, it's tuned in on it because you're still thinking about your new car. Does that make sense? I think most of us have had that experience. When you allow yourself to talk about the weekends as being really hard, then your brain goes into it prepped for that, ready to find you evidence that agrees with your existing story. So when you get to the weekend, you will notice all the adverts for booze on TV, and you'll spot that your favourite wine is on offer in the supermarket. Your social calendar will suddenly seem to be filling up with boozy, challenging events. You'll walk past pubs and notice how many people are sat outside drinking in the sun. Because you are thinking it's hard, your brain is kind of going, yeah, you're right, ta-da, here's all this evidence I found to back up this story that you've got. So, if you allow yourself to keep thinking that weekends are hard, you are going to have problems. A much better solution is to start focusing on a different thought. So, what other thoughts could you have about the weekend? Well, you could say to yourself, weekends can be hard, and there are things that can be easy about them, because that is actually true. Even during the toughest weekends, there are always easy moments. Or what if your thought was actually, the weekend is a great time to be alcohol-free. Hangover-free weekends are a lifestyle upgrade. Or sober weekends are so simple. When you focus on thoughts like that, your brain can start showing you some of the easier things about these weekends and letting that information filter through into your conscious mind. Now, you can get a head start on this by writing about this. I know it's Monday, but why not prep for next weekend by starting a list of all the ways in which alcohol-free living is going to make that next weekend easier? I think that pushing through the weekend, feeling tired and hungover, is actually really tough. Life is easier when you don't have that mental battle about when to drink, what to drink, or how much. So let's get excited about how much lighter things can feel when you don't have to pretend to be someone who is feeling absolutely fine whilst you quietly feel horrible inside. Just start talking it up. It doesn't matter if it feels weird or fake. It's just because it's new to you. You've spent a really long time practicing one side of the story, one version of events where drinking is easy and sobriety is hard. But that is a back to front version of reality. Now you're going to practice seeing the truth. So I'm Kate B. Wherever you're watching this, please scroll down and leave a comment for me. And specifically, I would love to know why being alcohol free will make your next weekend easier.